So today I want to talk about a meditation that I led in my online group, which is, it was a beautiful experience. I'll put the link underneath if it resonates with you to join. It's only very small and it's a group devoted to the bringing the divine to our everyday, to merging that in sacred union and to expressing that, to creating change in thought structures that exist and in the previous world that we lived in only a matter of months ago. In the world that we live in now, it's an energetic one. It's more represented or better explained and going back toward a more mystical time. This is a time where we're basically forced to be inside, right? So we don't have that physical contact anymore. We're reliant on contact through means other than the physical. We're talking about what I'm doing now, right? And there's energetic transmissions that happen when we still gather. Without that physical component, it's a very different, very, very, very different world that we live in. Without that daily routine that many of us now don't have, we have this space to stop. And when I say space, that's so vital for developing that connection to the divine. Without this space within us, we are still the zombies that will go out 9 to 5, exhausted, come back. You know, we were born and we make money, might get married, have kids, and then we die. You know, so it's like it's something a little more than just that. And it's taken a little virus to cause a devastating result and touched the entire world. And it's put it on lockdown. It stopped us from being able to do what we usually do in the world. And all of a sudden, it's like, is that really such a bad thing? I know that the suffering and the loss and the grief is not obviously a horrible aspect of it. But on the whole, is this actually showing where our priorities aren't aligned with what we truly do value in life? Has it taken this chaos to start to go, oh, gee, what am I doing here, right? This is my life. I can actually have choice. I don't have to, I don't know, watch TV or eat this or whatever it is. I can do something else. You might develop a new hobby or read books or watch me on YouTube. Whatever, I'm talking about this stuff. It's a time to bring the mystical components of our lives equal with the physical. It's time to admit that there is something more than just the physical world. It's time to really start to honor that within us. And so it's about balancing out those energies and to really be here and feel. And this is where a lot of people get caught up with this, because when you feel, sometimes you feel too much and you're like, oh, you know, it's done in a way that is, in a way that you're grounded in who you are, in a way that you can feel the energy flowing uniquely through you, because the energy flows through me different to how it will flow through you. My energetic blueprint is extremely different to anyone else's in the world, and I am designed this way as you're designed your way for a reason. So right now, it's a way for us to really connect in with each other, really connect in to the divine as well. and in a way that we haven't done before. You know, think about it. Before technology, we relied on face-to-face. That's pretty much died out now. What other conditionings do we have in us that is ready to be killed off? You know, any traditions that no longer suit you. You know, it's a time for death and rebirth right now. As structures fall away, it's a beautiful time to build your own inner foundations of what is important to you. Of being heart connected from that place of this is me and this is what I bring. And it's vulnerable and raw. And then you connect to the heart of another through a screen even. And then that has this gorgeous ripple effect as well, the connection. So in this group this morning that I run, we chanted, and it was beautiful, and it was very much in this southern hemisphere here in Australia. I can really feel the chaos of the north, where the outbreak obviously has been hit a hell of a lot more than here at this point. And it's like echoes of chaos, almost like battle cries and screaming, and it's like this energetic wave. And so I was called with this group that devotes themselves to truth, essentially. And it's a small group, but I was called to hold this chant, which holds the masculine energy of compassion and holding, and like holding it all as sacred, bringing consciousness through. If any of you know Shiva, it was Om Namah Shivaya, and the way it was done was in honor of sacred union within us now, and our bodies become that prayer. We embody it. We become essentially modern priestesses, right? To this, we devote ourselves to our path, but also to the collective. So it's fantastic. But it's the opening to the power of words, particularly the ancient words that have been recorded, and the energy that's inside of each word is so powerful and has a vibration on its own, and it's something that our language is restricted by. And so it's a more mystical language. It's not just saying Om Namah Shivaya. It's like finding, like meditating first, getting into that place of connection, and then from that place every cell in the body is devoted to that vibration, that ultimate merging, that divine union between body and the divine that comes through. Very powerful practice, very powerful prayer for humanity at this point in time. And so that's what generated that very impromptu gathering. Sound healing is key to embodiment of change now. It's key for us to hold ourselves in a place where we can stay open without entering into panic and shutting down everything. It's a beautiful way for us to practice that internally, and also obviously and receive, but also to give equally with that if we're in a position to. So very sacred practice, and it is such an honor to be bringing this. More and more as we go down this path, there will be, I feel, there could not, maybe not, but at this point in time I can feel this and see this this way, this path of bringing some of these ancient songs, ancient melodies back into the body. We could say they're chants, whatever word we want to use, but essentially it's vibration within the cells of our bodies, opening up the energetic lines within us and having that sacredness and connection and divinity come through. It's the devotion to the unseen. And it's time to step into that, to bring out the balance between form and formless. Formless has been in the shadow, has been forced underground for thousands of years because the form has dominated, right? And then the brain and the monetary value and the greed and so now you can see the rise of connection, the rise of the mystic, the rise of the medicine woman and man, medicine man, the rise of the evolved warrior of the light. You know, all these different paths start coming up and all paths lead home, right? It's just whatever resonates with us to follow. But they're all saying the same thing, that connection to the unseen and the surrender and the softening of the heart and the connection to the heart and the holding. That's a huge, huge, huge part. And also we reconnect to our voice and our heart and our power center. We reconnect to that which has long since, it's gone underground as well, and it's just had a revival as a priestess, right? And I don't like using that term, but the devotion of the unknown through the feminine, right? So Om Namah Shivaya typically is through the masculine, right? So you're sitting still, it's very focused, but you're still having that sacred union of the Shakti moving within and the body, it's encapsulated by the body, which is a gorgeous thing. Now when I talk about the priestess and the rebirth of those sacred chants, they are the echoes of timelessness flow through the melodies, flow through the lack of form or the lack of formality with it. They have a rhythm and flow. It's the bodies become the sacredness of it. It's a moving honouring of the chants, of the vibration, right? Beyond song, it's the honouring of the energy that has the sacred geometry. It's like there was a study done by a Japanese scientist whose name eludes me at the moment, but he studied the effect of sound on water and showed with a microscope, took images of how beautiful the sacred geometry was with gorgeous sounding songs and how ugly it was with negative intentions and harsh songs and harsh words. It's fascinating. So anyway, that's essentially what I was alluding to with this. So the more feminine practice is there's an option of using drums, of using the entire body as an instrument. It's moving, it's opening, it's expressing, it's having emotions with it. It's all of the humanness of us and all the expressions of being human, devoted to that which is beyond us, and that is unseen. It's the energy and the merging of that too. So there's a couple of ways, and then experiencing like a stillness where you get to allow the infusion to take place. And so this is an interesting body of work that I have come across, and continues to evolve. But there is definitely a need for it now. And so I hope to see you soon in another video, or maybe in my group if you're called to come and join me. Also, there's an online program. It's like a beginning start to a mystery school that's online at elisehayward.com if you are open to that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next free video. Also, I have a podcast as well that you can look up, supporting the spiritual journey, and that's on Apple, iTunes, and Podbean. And there's another one, but I can't think of it right now, so that's fine. So I'll be seeing you soon. Take it easy.